News, I'm Ben Thomas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will give final approval for a takeover of Gaza City, a military operation that could start within days. At the same time, he says he will restart negotiations with Hamas to return remaining hostages and end the war on Israel's terms. Hospitals in Gaza report at least 36 Palestinians killed in Israeli strikes today. Meanwhile, in Kyiv, our Samya Kulab reports a major Russian attack on western Ukraine.
With Russia firing over 500 drones and 40 ballistic and cruise missiles that have so far killed 1 and injured 15. Zelensky condemned these strikes, saying that they were carried out as if nothing has changed at all.
President Trump's declaring victory after an appeals court threw out the massive civil fraud penalty against him. And Hurricane Aaron's been kicking up big waves along the mid-Atlantic coast as it slowly moves out to sea. Saka Magani has a report.
Aaron is hammering North Carolina's Outer Banks as it slowly moves out to sea. Aaron's not forecast to make a landfall along the East Coast, but the National Hurricane Center's John Cangelosi says it may again become a Category 3 or higher storm.
Even though it's pulling away, its really big wind field on the west side is still bringing some tropical storm conditions to the Outer Banks.
Which is where the AP's Alan Breed watched Sebastian Kettner with a fishing pole.
What are you doing out here fishing in the middle of a hurricane?
Trying to catch a fish. Nothing doing so far, though.
Does this feel, a lot of people might say this is a little dumb.
Where there's water, there's fish.
And there is a lot of water. Waves flooded part of the Outer Banks main highway, and authorities predict Aaron may produce life-threatening rip currents along the entire East Coast. I'm Sagar Bagani.
Modest losses on Wall Street. The S&P fell 0.4%. The Dow and the Nasdaq about 0.3%. This is AP News. Higher prices hitting gamers. Ed Donahue has the story.
It's going to cost more for a popular video game console.
PlayStation.
Sony has raised the price of its PlayStation 5 consoles in the U.S. by $50, effective immediately. The price change affects the standard PlayStation 5, the digital edition, and the Pro. Sony says prices will not change for PlayStation 5 games. Sony has said the company has been working to diversify its supply chain to alleviate the impact of tariffs in the U.S. Microsoft bumped up prices for Xbox consoles in March, and Nintendo has increased prices for its original Switch console and accessories for the Switch 2. I'm Ed Donahue.
And Cracker Barrel's remaking its image. Its new logo ditches the barrel itself, the man leaning on it, and the words Old Country Store. It just says Cracker Barrel on a gold background. Stores and restaurants also being remodeled. There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional costs to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
As the day unfolds with laughter and cheer, Brad's got the magic that brings us all near. Sharing tales of hope, dreams that shine bright. Good morning, Marianas, together we ignite. So join the palm trees, we dance through the days, the rhythm and soul.
Oh my goodness, what am I listening to in the background? Where's that background? Oh, there it is. We're good. We're good. We're golden. Good morning, Marianas. It is 7:38. It is Friday. You have survived the week. You made it to the final day. The weekend is just within your grasp, barely. It's so close. We just got to get through this show. And then we got to get through, the last day of the week. But holy crap. Just when you thought it was safe to go into the water and relax and exhale maybe, all of a sudden now the news cycle is back. My goodness. All right, well, let's recap. We had one heck of a month, and it's starting all over again. Yes. All right. We're going to tell you, we're going to talk all about that. Well, before we do that, let's hit you up with weather a little bit right now. It's 78 degrees outside. Ooh, it's in the 70s. And humidity is 90% up there at the Saipan International Airport. That's going to go down throughout the day, hopefully, because hopefully those clouds will be gone away. But right now, you can expect scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. Partly sunny skies with a high near 88. It's going to be a little windy, and the chance of rain is 40%, but take a look out there. It is definitely raining already. So tonight, though, it is going to cool down a little bit, and the rain should go away. Tomorrow, though, we're looking at more of the same. In fact, tomorrow almost is a carbon copy of what we get today. The good news is that Sunday looks amazing, and so do you. Hey, it's 85 degrees that we're looking for on Sunday. Going to be mostly sunny skies with a nice breeze, and everything should be very nice. That's nice. All right, well, just about as nice as the traffic out there on the road. Now that school's back in session and everything, you got to be a little bit careful as you're driving on the road. Let's take a look at traffic right now. Let's get out there on the roads. Okay, that was a really bad sound effect. All right, well, right now, it doesn't look like anything's too bad, except when you get down to the intersection that matters, where Connections matters, over there by I-10E. It's not that bad, actually. It's barely past the building. I've seen worse. Well, at 7:40, it's not that bad because some of the kids are on their way to school. The high schools, though, don't start till 9, so that's going to pick up a little bit. If you look over there at the intersection, it looks like they just got the green light behind us. You can actually see the cars behind me when the camera's on me. The cars are moving back and forth in every direction, but it looks like it's a little slow as you approach the Beach Road intersection at Chalmonte Guerrero. Not the easiest place to be. Everything else on Beach Road's looking mighty cherry. Isn't that right, LJ? Cherry strawberry. I knew it, dude. I knew you were listening. All right, as the intersection over there by Mobile and Chalmpiao, it is a little bit slow. Those cars have been there for a while. They're trying to get their kids to Hopwood so they can get out there and go to Galaxy or Bolus and get themselves some empanada and some nice fresh donuts. You gotta love it. And don't fight over which is better empanada. Just buy one from each. There you go. Make it two. All right, anyhow. Those abs are not going to grow themselves. So we're looking right now on Middle Road and heading north, and it's a little bit touch and go, especially when you get by DHL. And that's not just because their colors are red and yellow. That's because traffic is starting to slow down for folks who are trying to make their way north. A little bit of congestion at the intersection by Quartermaster on Beach Road and at Middle Road, but still, it's been worse. Not too bad. And you got a little bit of folks trying to get through the Gualorai intersection by the old courthouse and everything, and it's not doing all that great, but don't worry about it. People heading south, just be patient, tap on that brake, get ready, because you're going to be a little bit slow going down the road, and what's more important, getting to where you want to go in one piece or getting there fast and skidding off the road. You know the difference, so be smart out there. Plus, you're going to end up seeing that person at the next light anyway, right? So let's just chill. All right, hey, when you're getting down the Garapan over there by JG Sablon, you're gonna have a little bit of a backup all the way back to, holy cow, Chow drive-through. That's right, Mobile's got, you're gonna be backed up all the way to Mobile. So, grit it out. Try and put your smiles on, even though you get it at the pump. All right, it's also slow heading north along Middle Road when you get close to the pickleball / tennis courts. And how about all the way over? I'll tell you, the best lunch spot on a day like today. All right, you made it. Great to see you. All right, it's going to be a little bit pretty easy by the time you get over there to Issa Drive. Issa Drive's looking mighty fine as well. And if you get over to Ena's Kitchen, you're going to be pretty happy. Now, how about the Merienda hotspot, the Rodeo Drive of Saipan? Why? Because all the stores that are there, New Sarah Market, Zenu Market, and Capitol Hill Market, they're all back to back to back, and it is a little bit slow over there because people are popping in there to just fill up a little bit on their way to the office. Speaking of fill up, people who are filling up over there at Mobile on the way down to Cagman are seeing the traffic back up a little bit. So, hey, be patient going through there. You don't want to be speeding through that little intersection because there's a big yellow lion right there ready to pounce on you if that happens. Thank you, Saipan Lions Club. All right, folks. Well, that looks pretty good. Even over there in San Vicente, kids trying to make their way to school. Why are they driving? They're in elementary school. No, it's their parents. They're fine too. Everything over there by the college is looking good. So basically, things are looking good in the neighborhood as you're trying to get around today. By the way, you can save yourself all of that frustration just by hopping on Transit CNMI. The Commonwealth Office of Transit Authority won a national award because of how awesome they are, and you could take advantage of that service right here inside EPAN. Don't worry, Tinian and Rhoda, it's coming to you sometime soon, but it's just not there yet. At least you guys have the Call a Ride service, but over in Saipan, you've got the Blue Line, and you can see it right there on the screen right now. They've got 2 buses on the prowl taking people on the north side and south side along the route, and they've got another one that says not in service. It is. It's just hanging out waiting just in case something goes wrong. And if you want to hop on there, it only costs you $2 to get anywhere you want to go. That's right, $2 on Transit CNMI. Bonus though, if you're a student, a veteran, active duty military, Manamco, or if you've got disabilities, it's half off. That's right. Only $1 takes you anywhere you need to go around the CNMI, and you can see on their website where the bus is so you know exactly how long you're waiting. And the service is open from 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night, Monday through Friday. Weekends and holidays, hey, the drivers got to get lives too, so they're going to let them off a half an hour early. 6:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. Now make sure that you are paying in exact change, because they are not going to be making change for you when you get on the bus. So if you're rolling in there feeling like you're rich, you're busting out your Abraham Lincoln, and they're going to say, dude, if you're paying $5, you're either paying for 5 half-off rates or 2.5 regular rates, because no change for you. All right, well, Transit CNMI, they're out there taking care of us, and we're taking care of them. By the way, when you're taking a ride on Transit CNMI, when you're on one of those Coda buses, not only is it air conditioned and amazing and clean and modern and all that, they even have free Wi-Fi. That's right. You could be out there shooting your next you could be putting your next Facebook Live or Instagram video right there on the bus, and everybody can hang out with you. It's cool. It's Transit CNMI. They've got great stops all over Saipan, and they're only going to expand. So enjoy it, folks. We love them, and they love us. So get on the bus. Is that the new slogan? I think so. All right, guys, it is 7:46 in the morning. We have a call, and we are going to call real quick because there are exciting things happening in our Marianas, and it just happens to be at our southernmost link of our Commonwealth chain. I'm excited about this. Oh my goodness, we got her on the phone. It is the mayor of Rhoda. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Aubrey Hookug.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Mayor. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We are terribly sad because we're in Saipan and all the action is happening in Rhoda today.
We are very, very excited to launch and execute our Coconut Festival. This year we tried to experiment, and we are merging our Coconut Fest with our Sweet Potato Fest. That way we can offer a variety of, other types of programs to really augment our coconut and sweet potatoes here on Luta.
Well, and those are two of my favorite things over there in Luta. I love it. No matter what festival, if you had the We Like Sakati Festival, I would go because everything over there is great. You have the amount of hospitality that you get in Rhoda is great. The only people I feel bad for are the people operating the airlines, because I am making those scales go to higher and higher numbers every time I leave.
Well, just like our community, right? We show our love and our hospitality through food, and that's a great way, to share a meal and just share stories, get to know one another, and build that friendship, right? And so that's the beauty of living here in the islands.
It is, and it's such a great place. So the event starts tonight, and can you tell people like what do you guys have? Where is the whole festival grounds going to take place and everything?
Sure. So our Coconut and Sweet Potato Fest will kick off at our Chamorro Village with our opening ceremony, followed by we will open all our educational demonstrations for our people and our visitors to peruse and meet our practitioners, meet our guest speakers, and all the others who came out to do outreach related to coconut and our sweet potato. We also are going to feature a food competition tonight. We have like sweet and savory desserts for coconut, sweet and savory desserts for our sweet potato, and then we have an out of the box category where you have to merge both, into a delicious meal or a delicious dessert. So that's going to be very, very interesting. That's going to be featured tonight alongside our fashion show, where we have already have registered participants that will be featuring a design outfit made out of coconut. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see. And well, our team will also be there to go live and showcase to our viewers who are not able to join us on Rhoda, but would love to just support the various programs that we have tonight. And then tomorrow, we are featuring our umang race and our pie eating competition, same grounds, Chamorro Village. And we have, train rides for the kids. We have our batu that's going to just be open for anybody who wants to come and just practice, so that when we do have our featured batu competition, they'll be ready to compete and win a prize. We are going to have food vendors there selling, food, drinks, and other novelties. And of course, we have a great lion entertainment tonight and tomorrow, for our people to get up and dance and just enjoy the festivities with us.
It sounds amazing. I love it. I love all the demonstration. You had me a pie eating competition. I love that. The umang race is one of my all-time favorite events because I haven't seen the Rhoda edition yet, but I did see them do that over in Tinian, and they take that serious. It's for me. I'm like, all right. So you go down to the beach, you go find yourself a little hermit crab, and like, yep, that's going to be my fast one. We're going to call you Speedy. And no, these guys, they race them, they practice. I'm like, you got to be kidding. I'm picturing like these little coconut crabs, like walking, like carrying a tire behind them to try to strengthen their little legs to get ready for the event. And man, coming down there is going to be amazing. The umang race and all that entertainment. So it starts tonight at 5 o'clock. And so now the question is, the weather over here is looking a little lousy. How are you guys doing over there?
So same here, but it's okay. We believe that, the rain is like a blessing. So let us be blessed this morning. That way can clear the skies for us to join and to gather together and enjoy our night. So it's the same, it's a little bit gloomy here, but we are hopeful for good weather. And yes, but rain or shine, we will still be there tonight. And we invite our people, our residents, to come out and show support. It's going to be a good gathering. We have a lot of guests coming in, artists from Saipan. We're launching our Marianas exchange program here on Luta, and this is one of the great programs that all the mayors from Rhoda, Saipan, Tinian, Northern Islands, and Guam, we wanted to put this program together where we start small and expand. And so this year we're focusing on our cultural preservation practices, and then next year we want to include and expand to have our kids compete with, sports, and just to build camaraderie and friendship amongst our children. And so we're launching it here on Luta. So we're very happy to be have our kids gather and represent their respective municipalities, to be ambassadors for their islands, and just really promote their respective cultures and learn from one another, love one another, and build that bond, right? And that's what we want to promote for all our children here in the Marianas.
I love this idea, and that whole plan of doing that together sounds great. You guys, you're just on top of it, Miss Mayor. I'm telling you, I love this idea. And, I'll tell you, I'll say it now because I got you on the show for all the folks who are watching and listening, whether they're here in the Marianas or off else in the world. But you guys, our Rhoda Mayor is so on top of it. I get to see, she's a great ambassador of the islands. She goes out there and lives it. She's out there doing the shows, promoting the island. She's forward thinking. She's going out with the team to these local or regional events too to promote the islands. And you do such a great job. And I know, you can see some things. You don't have to listen to the way people say it or read it in the press release. Seeing the way your staff interacts with you and everybody else, you are clearly a great leader, and people love you over there, and it's so evident. I'm so glad that my daughter got to meet you over there in Tinian too, so she can meet some good local leaders that she can aspire to also.
Well, we will be happy to welcome you, your family, and just anybody to our beautiful island. And you're absolutely correct. All the credit belongs to my amazing staff, to my partners in the Rhoda Legislative Delegation, our municipal council, all my cabinet members, my RDs, and their hardworking staff. We can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. And when we have a good team together, united with the mission to just really build Rhoda, magical things can happen, and the flow is just smooth. And yes, granted, right, there are speed bumps, but together we can really accomplish a lot of things. And that's what I'm truly appreciative and thankful. And just having also partners that help us promote LUTA. We all have our unique charms in our respective islands, but really united is what will make our Commonwealth great. So I'm very, very thankful to my mayors too, right, who have shown great support to me and our island anytime we need help. All the mayors from the neighboring islands have always been a great ally for us. So I'm truly, truly thankful and appreciative.
Oh, love it. Just love it. Ms. Mayor, we're looking forward to everything that you guys have going on. You got the Rhoda Coconut and Sweet Potato Festival happen. We're looking for like Bula beers and Banadu whenever you guys are going to do one of those.
That'll be forthcoming.
Yeah,
That'll
you guys
yes,
bring that one along. I am definitely there as well. And
we had a conversation, my son, about having a deer. So, hopefully for Besita, we want to maybe add a feature or maybe outside that because it'll be open season. But we definitely want to do a deer competition, and we have some female, who want to participate. So we're definitely going to be excited and invite our, our visitors to come join us for that as well.
That's so great. Any shout outs or anything, Ms. Mayor?
No, just to really all our leadership, from our governor to all the partners near and far. Thank you all so much for thinking of LUTA. Thank you so much for loving our island, loving our people, and we extend the same courtesy and love to you all. And yes, please, we invite our friends, family, neighbors, visitors, come to Rhoda. We do have these various programs, and we have great people who will extend their warm hospitality to you. And remember, when you're on Rhoda, to wave Alaf LUTA.
Yes, and it's infectious. I do it as soon as I get there. I love doing it. But I don't know if this happens to you, but when I get back to Saipan, just after a few days in Rhoda, I am waving to people on the road like I'm still in Rhoda. And I'm wondering, why aren't they waving back? It's terrible.
Well, you can still, Saipan can adopt that, Tinian can adopt that. It's just a way to show your love and, warm greetings to others. Because one way or another, whether we're related, but, through bonds, we can build and become families and great friends. So nonetheless, right, that's what makes our community so great here in the islands.
I agree. Well, Ms. Mayor, thank you so much. Good luck this weekend. If people are not going to Rhoda this weekend, they are missing out. It is Rhoda Coconut and Sweet Potato Festival. Gets kicked off tonight at 5 p.m. Opening ceremony. There's fashion shows, cooking competitions, educational demonstrations, entertainment all weekend long. And this is the time. If you haven't been training your umang race, you've got a few hours left. All right. Thank you, Ms. Mayor. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. That is Rhoda Mayor Aubrey Huckug. She is just awesome. Love having her on the show and love getting down there. Oh, geez, we got a phone call coming in right now. Hold on. Let's tune in. We were about to head to a commercial, but instead we got a phone call. Go ahead. Hafidades on Tiro. Thanks for calling the show. Who's this?
Good morning, my dear people of the Commonwealth. I have a strong vision and recommendation regarding the how to bring back the tourism here in the Commonwealth. Historically, knowingly that Saipan was once little Tokyo outside mainland Japan, and a lot of their ancestors were born and raised here, including the Okinawans. So I hereby recommend that both houses of the legislature must be unified, do a public meeting, town hall, and to get their feedback. But I'll give them the feedback of what I know and the best of my ability. So help me, God, in how to resurrect the tourism, knowingly that its economy is the prime time versus the migrant workers. So Japan is the most vital market beside Korea as far as cinema is concerned. And with all effort, with whatever airline that is eyeing, envisioning the Saipan will be greatly appreciated. This is my recommendation. And I appreciate the Department of Transportation for coming in and to support as far as tourism and the industry. Yet, we should have to push both houses of the legislature to rise and be unified and be as one in doing this kind of approach. So this is what I have to say for this morning. Thank you. This is better known as TAMOA Damoa.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that too. Right on. Hopefully they are stay tuning in this talk show because it's very fruitful. It's very meaningful. That's the best approach that we could ever do. Yeah, and you know the road leading down to Kangmang, there's a pure original shrine by the late property of Francisco Santos Guerrero and Sabet. You know, when you go down Kamang Hill, that water well by the main road.
Yes.
If you go into their property, there's an historical Japanese shrine there, and that has to be opened up to convince that these people who were born and raised here in the Japanese era prior to World War II are being and forever be remembered. You know, and we would always be with them.
All right. Yeah, I have heard about that one. This is the Jinja. Is that what they call it?
I'll be more than willing to take you, sir. If you want tomorrow, we can go to the property and walk you down into, and you will be amazed. Have you been in there?
No, but I've heard about it.
You will cry. Your heart will break apart. How those monuments were pieced together long before World War II. That shrine. Yeah, that's the original Japanese shrine as far as for Saipan. Mm-hmm. And the Santa Lourdes is the original shrine for both Rofaluas and Chamorro and Rofaluas. That's the original worship area. Wow. Been led in by the Borja family.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Don't you not know that when you're leading down to Asteo, both sides of the rock used to be a giant cliff. A cave.
Really?
Yeah, so due to heavy aero bombardment to eject the Japanese out of the cave, the Americans realized, based on the Chamorro information by the late Nicolas Muña of Perdido, mm-hmm. Back then they told the Americans that you don't just throw in the hand grenade because there's a lot of locals in the cave and Japanese soldiers who chose not to fight the Americans but to be part of the local population in saving their lives.
Wow. Well, we'll check it out. We'll send you a message. I love that idea.
287-0900.
You got it. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir.
All right, there we go. Thank you so much for calling, and we're moving on with the show. You know, we've got a great show lined up for you today. We're going to talk about all the headlines that we've got for sure. We even have a special guest who just rolled in and been waiting for us. But what we're going to do, we're going to throw it to commercial real quick, get you guys the update from the Associated Press. In fact, maybe we'll do that first and get these guys all settled in and ready to go. But yep, the latest from the Associated Press is here. So let's do this. We'll get you that update and roll right in with real quick commercial. So don't go anywhere, folks. We are here. It's the top of the hour, and that's news for you.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. In Pennsylvania, police responding to a report of an active shooter on the campus of Villanova University. An alert warns people to stay away from the law school. In Washington, President Trump's out in the D.C. streets this evening as part of his crackdown on crime and immigration enforcement.
I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C., from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. And they said, you know, what you've done it's unprecedented, because what they said it was just unsafe.
The president declared victory today after an appeals court threw out the massive civil fraud penalty against him. Saka Magani has details.
New York State and Attorney General Letitia James had accused the president of exaggerating his wealth to deceive lenders and insurers.
Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal.
The then ex-president denied it last year, arguing the case was politically motivated.
They don't have any facts. They don't have any evidence against us.
But a judge's ruling meant Trump was on the hook for more than $500 million. Today, an appeals panel ruled that's excessive and threw it out. The ruling comes 7 months after Trump returned to office. His Justice Department is investigating whether James violated his civil rights. Sagar Magani, Washington.
In the Middle East, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's ready to give final approval for the takeover of Gaza City. The military operation could start within days. He also says he will restart negotiations with Hamas to return all remaining hostages and end the war on Israel's terms. Hospitals in Gaza report at least 36 Palestinians killed in Israeli strikes today. And Russia launched a major aerial attack on western Ukraine. The Ukrainian Air Force says 574 drones and 40 ballistic and cruise missiles. This is AP News. Sales of existing homes rose in July, says the National Association of Realtors. Homebuyers encouraged in part by a modest pullback in mortgage rates. Freddie Mac puts the average 30-year at 6.58%. Jobless claims rose last week but remained at a healthy level, and Seth Sutel has the AP Markets report.
Stocks fell to their fifth straight loss in a muted day of trading on Wall Street. The S&P 500 slipped 0.4%. The index hasn't risen since hitting its latest all-time high last Thursday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 152 points. That's about 0.3%. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.3%. Walmart lost 4.5%. The big retailer reported weaker profits for the spring than the market was expecting. Nvidia and other big tech stocks held a bit steadier following 2 days of sharp swings. Treasury yields rose in the bond market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note climbed to 4.33%. Seth Sutel, New York.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Yeah. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, goes Caribbean. Good morning, Marianas, the best time of year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. Laughter and stories, come what may.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is 8:12 in the morning, and it might look a little rainy outside, but that's still not a bad thing. 79 degrees outside in Saipan, not sunny at all. Humidity, I said it was going to go down. Unfortunately, it will not, but you can still get that action down in Garapan. 94% humidity up at the Saipan International Airport as the rain continues to drizzle around Saipan. Looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, partly sunny skies, high near 88, and 40% chance of rain, or if you go outside right now, it's gonna rain. But I'll tell you what, if you want to make it rain, you got to make some money. And one way to make some money is to go out there and give yourself a real fighting chance at getting things done in the real world. And we've got someone in studio with us today who can help you do that exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big welcome to Jonathan Tamayo. He is an intelligence specialist, first class, moving on up in the world. And we've got him in studio. He is the Navy Reserve Recruiting Station Guam's guy out here, and he's on the ground to get people squared away. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hafaday, welcome. Thanks for having me. I appreciate being on the show this morning. Good to be here.
And you came, you didn't even come here by yourself. You got a whole team in tow. You got like a media squad over there.
Yeah, shout out to Fernandez here and Ramos taking care of us, conducting their drill weekends.
All right, so let's do this. Let's get it started. Let's introduce yourself to everybody and let people know, what you do and what's going on over here.
So IS Tamayo, out of Guam, right? Originally from Talafofo, Guam, not Talafofo Saipan, but Talafofo, Guam. My civilian side, I'm an educator with the Guam Department of Education, and then I'm currently on orders for recruiting.
Wow. So you're not active duty, but you're activated right now.
That's correct.
No kidding. So now this is really cool. I've heard a bunch of the guys. So, I mean, I'm a vet, and we got our local vet groups and everything here. We got the VFW, and then we got Project Buddy Check 670. And, we heard about you guys on island. I'm like, hey, message this guy. Tell him, ask him if he can come on the show, because you're offering some opportunities out here, not just for folks who are just thinking about joining, prior service folks too.
Yes, absolutely. So excited to be here. This is like my 6th trip in the past 2 years, and it was all out of inception. One day I went to the Reserve Center and I said, hey, we need some folks from CNMI. Let's see what we can do. And they said, well, proof of concept. Go out there, gauge the interest. And to date, I gladly say we have 4 now. So, and growing.
Nice.
So very exciting stuff. Happy to provide opportunities out here, and people can serve and work right here at home.
All right. So now you signed. How long have you been in?
So I've been in 6 years. I just got just back in May was my 6-year anniversary.
You've been in 6 years and you're already in E6.
That's correct.
You are killing it. That's great.
You.
So your parents got to be proud.
Oh yes. This is just another milestone at one for our family, of course. Yeah, and I'm the only service member in my immediate family, so we gotta represent.
No, that's cool. All right,
Yeah.
so let's talk about it. I can tell you that my parents were not in love with my decision to join the infantry. They thought I was throwing it all away. What are you doing? But when I got my blue cord pinned on, they were beaming, right? They were with pride.
Right.
Let's go back to you when you decided to raise your hand, take the oath. What made you decide to get to that point?
Okay, so I was actually in the classroom, and a lot of my colleagues were guardsmen or reservists, and they would just talk to me like, hey, have you ever thought about it? And I said, yeah, I do think about it, but it would have to be a job or an MOS, a rating as we call it in the Navy, something that I would be excited about. So I started diving in, doing some research. This is in 2018. And from there, I stumbled upon the intelligence field. And I had always been a big buff for like the FBI, the CIA, DEA type movies, documentary series, right? So I was like, that's something that I feel like I can be interested in and do, right? From there, it kind of just took off running. I took the ASVAB, right? Being 30-year-old, taking the ASVAB, it was kind of being out of school for so long. But qualified, and a year later, I was off to Great Lakes.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So my experience is different. I took the ASVAB, I think at 16, and delayed entry. And then after high school, I graduated at 17. So I did basic and AIT at 17. I didn't turn 18 until I hit my first duty station. So I didn't have real life experience before I went in. So your experience going in is way different. You went in as an adult. You knew what you were getting into.
That's right.
And you could be like, oh man, I don't like this, or like, I like this. But not only did you like it, you decided to keep going and sticking with it, and again, moving your way up.
Absolutely, I love it. back then I felt like, I had done education, I'm a coach, and I felt like I still had a lot more to give myself and my family and my community. So that's kind of why I decided to join. And of course, I was excited about the job. So just hit the ground running.
So you start off at 30 years old. You're already established in your community. What was the feedback that you got from all the people that you knew?
They were, it was funny to them. They were like, man, you're looking for another mountain. You're always looking for another benchmark to climb and a goal to cross. And I said, for me, it's a way that I can continue to grow. As a man, as a facet of our community, right? I just wanted to find more ways where I can grow and progress and serve my country ultimately.
That's pretty cool. So, but why the Navy?
Why the Navy?
Why the Navy?
So a good friend of mine, right, George Mesa, he frequents out here as well. One day we're getting haircuts next to each other, right? And he's like, have you ever thought about the Navy Reserve? And I was like, we have a Navy Reserve here on Guam? He's like, yes, we do. And at that time, we were only maybe under 100 sailors strong, right? Mm-hmm. So I started talking to him and what his career has been like for him, and man, he really enjoyed it. And what I would see is that he's traveling as much as he wants. He gets on orders, he comes off of orders, he gets to all these cool trainings. So yeah, shout out to George. We had that one conversation one night over haircuts, and the rest is history.
Man, that's great. I can't imagine doing it now. I mean, like, it would be awesome. I'm too old for it now. I can't get in there. But it sounds like it's a really awesome opportunity to do the reserves. It's probably something that I feel like it's a missed opportunity for me here, because I would get to know a lot of the local folks here. Like, I'm with the local, like the vets community and all that stuff, but to really get in with the guys who are still in as reserves and all that, I think it'd be pretty cool. You kind of grow up together with, again, another layer of that onion of how you guys get closer.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a great community, right? Like I said, right now we're about 250 strong, right? But in that community, everybody knows everyone. Everyone takes care of each other. We get to do events like this where I get to come out and sort of make sure our sailors are tracking and progressing, not only in their military career, but as a person and in life. That's one of my priorities, especially.
So I know there's some trade-offs joining versus just being wild and free. But what are some of the benefits that you get when you're joining up in the Navy?
Oh, so first and foremost, after 90 days of activation, VA home loan. Ooh. VA home loan. That's one of the biggest ones, right? And you're being able to buy or build your first home. That's a landmark for a lot of folks, and being able to provide in that way. I would say secondly, TRICARE. TRICARE Reserve Select covers everything, right? Covers everything.
Tell everybody, for the people who don't know anything about the service at all, what is TRICARE? What does that mean?
TRICARE is a healthcare insurance, right? And it comes right out of your drill weekend check, and it covers you and your family, really. So for a family, whether it's a family of 2 to a family of 5, it's about $250, and everything is covered. If it's a single service member, like our brothers here in arms, you're looking at $50 a month, and
wow,
and no co-pays. You get your medication, and various providers both on island here in Saipan and in Guam.
Outstanding. It sounds really cool. Not to mention, you put in. Do you get a retirement out of the reserves too? I mean, if you put in all that time.
Yes, absolutely. So every single drill day is considered a point towards retirement. So for the prior service folks, all of their time in their service still counts. So the reserve time just builds on top of that towards their 20-year retirement.
And I know it's a big deal if you're in Guam because there's so many more options available. But here, if you're in the reserves, you get to shop at that troop store too.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I like that the mini mart there. I had my poster up there for a little while. Apparently there was some strong winds last week and it just fell down, but we're looking to replace that.
I'm thinking life-size statue. Why don't you just go for that? And people would be cool with that. Who gets that life? All right, so the other one is, this is what I thought was really cool. I didn't I didn't get in with the reserves or the guard after I got out of the service, but you know, looking back on it, what an easy transition that would have been. You've got guys who ETS, for you guys, that means when you get out of the service, right?
Right.
And you're offering opportunities for folks, even if they weren't Navy before, to come into the Navy.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. So folks can affiliate right after they get out, whether it be active duty, guard, or reserve. Right when they get out of their normal contract, they can come on over. And actually, there's a 2-year deployment deferment if they do that within the first 6 months. So what that means is the Navy's like, come on over, let's get you settled, let's get you qualified. You can go to the schools that you want, and for 2 years, you know, you can get acclimated. And on a 3-year contract, that's not so bad.
No, but you know, you're saying all the good stuff. My recruiter said all this good stuff too. So so how legit can you get the training? Like, so I still remember Corporal Falcon. That's the guy who got me. What a name, right? You feel like you should hear the screaming eagle sound in the background of freedom. Right? But he's like, oh yeah, when you go to Fort Benning, you know, after you're done with basic and AIT, you know, you can walk over there and see if you can just join the next cycle of jump school. I'm like, oh, that's not true. Like, you can't just roll over and say, hey, I got some time on my hands. Can I go to jump school with you guys? Yeah. So what's it like for some of the opportunities to take some of those schools that you want to get to?
Okay, so the member has a priority as far as the school goes, because when they transition over, we want them to excel at their job, right? And if they're coming from other branches or other MOSs, we send them to school within the first year. So that's written into their contract. Within the first year of affiliating, swearing in, they have to go and attend the school, right? And any activation, of course, as you know, most folks know, is over 30 days is full active duty pay. So they get full active duty benefits, the housing allowance, a substance allowance, food allowance, all while they're away to take care of their families.
It's funny because our buddy Bruce Camacho said, what was Falcon's first name? Blue? Yes, it was Blue. But that's one of our guys from the military, one of our fellow vets, Bruce Camacho. He was asking what kind of MOSs, so what kind of jobs are available for folks?
So right now, the job this past fiscal year that was in high demand is more along the lines of intelligence, information technician, your cryptological warfare specialists. Those are some of the more sought after jobs that are offering $20,000 bonuses, by the way.
Do you have any talk show host positions? Are you available that?
We have media guys, we have MCs, yeah. So that's right in your wheelhouse.
I can be that guy. I'll roll right in with the commission, and here we go. From the high seas to the CNMI.
Right on.
All right, let's get serious again though. You've got a couple of guys who were prior service Marine Corps that are here. One looks like a media guy. He's got the phone shooting some video right now and everything. Yeah. So who are these guys and how did you get them?
So to my left, we have HM3 De Ramos. He's a Marine Corps. He did one contract, did some time out in Japan. He came out. I actually met him while we were doing his partner's swear-in here, IS3 Fernandez. We were doing the swear-in, we did the bonuses, and then he came along and he's like, I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Wow.
So I was able to get both of them, and they actually joined and left around the same time, same year, right? I'm understanding, into the Marine Corps, and now they're still Department of the Navy, but on the reserve capacity.
That's awesome. And maybe, can we get you come over, say a couple things? You could share the same mic, or you can use this one, but I think this one's off camera a little bit. It's all right. You can come over. You can just grab it. Like, we can adjust it and everything, too. All right, what's the first song you're going to sing? No. Let me move this over for you so it's a little bit better. Like, I could just bring a chair over for you. Hold on, let's do this first. All right, and you could just angle it toward you. All right, sorry about that. It's not perfect. So these guys weren't necessarily gonna join, but I mean, it got you guys here. So prior service guy, you signed up, and like this is the interesting part for me, because as a prior service guy, I didn't, but I think I missed out on an opportunity. As a prior service guy, you were out. You were probably already on the IRR, right?
Yes.
And so what made you decide to sign up?
I genuinely miss the camaraderie that comes with being in the service. I was at home, I was sitting down, and I was like, I'm slowly losing my sense of purpose. And the military gave me that. And I'm 23, I'm young, like, what can I lose at this point? So I decided one day, my buddy texted me and he goes, hey, do you want to meet the recruiter? And I was like, I'll send it, we'll send it. So he said the story, I showed up, and I did not know my buddy was actually swearing in the next day.
No.
So, you know, it's what got me to this point. And funny enough, he was the one that also got me to join the Marine Corps, which is hilarious. So we've been back and forth, and honestly, it's a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
All right, so Ramos, right? Can you introduce yourself to everybody real quick?
Good morning, everybody. I'm HM3 de Ramos, hospitalman 3rd class. I still have to go to the school. But my service in the Marine Corps, I was for what the old folks know as NBC, nuclear. Yep.
Chemical,
I was stationed out in Okinawa. I got lucky because I wasn't alone. We had a lot of service members from the island, not just the Marine Corps. We had guys from the Navy who was a corpsman. We had guys that were in the Air Force, Army, and I have also met a lieutenant colonel from Saipan. I grew up like a couple minutes from where he grew up, Lieutenant Colonel Camacho. I actually met him while we were out there. So, like, the experience, I felt like I was still at home because everybody from the island, we share one heart, one home, right? And yeah, it's pretty much.
Listen to this guy. He sounds like he's been in the military for all this time. Like, I can hear just the accent, the way you present and everything. Like, I'm like, this guy. This is the guy. This is awesome. So where are you from in Saipan?
So I grew up in Tanapag.
Yeah.
Moved down to Chalankanoa, and I spent my time there. I'm a Saipan Southern alumni.
Manta.
Ray.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
So you're in now. You're getting ready to go off to your schooling and all that other stuff. So somebody who served, like, again, this was in our vets group, right? The whole idea of this idea, and people were interested. So was it a little nervous to go back in to sign up again, or you didn't think about that part as much?
It was kind of nerve-wracking. Like, it's like, oh, what's the next step? But the one thing that I'm genuinely happy and I really love is that they will never leave you behind. They're always on top of you, and they'd be like, hey, if you have any questions, don't be scared to reach out and ask us. And that was my biggest issue, is reaching out and asking. And my unit, we're stationed in Yokosuka, and first thing I get as soon as I get gained into the team, they're like, hey, is this HM3 de Ramos? And I was like, yes, it's me. And hey, we're reaching out from Yokosuka, and if you need anything from us, if you got questions, please reach out.
Man, I'll tell you what, so I totally get this, like what you were talking about, that sense of purpose and all that. Going back now 8 years ago, I ended up landing a job with Joint Region, and so as a civilian. And being that close to it brought me right back, the respect, the calling people sir, parade rest, you're a civilian, relax, like all that stuff. But I mean, but all that, the respect that you earn and the respect that you give, and being around it, and then, the conversation, you could talk to people who are in a little different than you could talk to people who haven't served and all that stuff. Like some of the stuff that we were talking about before you guys came on, right? It's a good feeling, and it sounds like that's one of the things that pulled you back.
Definitely, it did.
All right, so now your buddy over here, does he get a recruitment bonus for getting you? We used to joke and call it the Foxtrot Your Buddy program. If you got somebody in. So it sounds like he's on a recruiting track already. Two services.
Yeah, got him both times. He does get recognized. They each get recognized for their referrals. They both actually came on and got a bonus for affiliating. Yeah.
That's so when you go in as changing services, I know the Marine Corps is under the Navy, right? But is it difficult to jump through all those hoops? Do you retain some of your rank, or what happens?
So you actually do keep your rank, provided you hadn't been out more than 5 years, right? So reduction in rank was a thing last FY, but this FY we kind of went away from it. So you do keep your time, you keep your rank as of this FY instruction, and you continue your service. If your job has an equivalent or a direct parallel to one of our jobs, then you can easily go into that job and rating. However, if you like to explore more career options, it's as simple as running your ASVAB scores. By the way, they don't have to take the ASVAB again.
Nice.
So we can use those scores from, when you were still a Manta-Ray or this is still in high school. We can still use those scores and qualify individuals through that.
Excellent. How about, all right, so I know there's a bunch of people who are watching. They're wondering, Tobot says, do I get a bonus if I refer my daughter? That's excellent. But as far as ages and all that kind of stuff, so when can you sign up? When can you start going down this path? And when is it too old?
Okay, so actually, as soon as somebody gets into the Navy Reserve, they could actually be straight out of high school, right? But for prior service, obviously, there's no prior age limit. However, on the back end, right, retirement's 20 years. So you have to be able to retire matched with your career of service. So, for example, if somebody has 17 years and they're 50 years old and they want to do 30 more or 3 more, they wouldn't be able to do that. You know what I mean? So that's one example. So they have to be able to retire by 60 and also fulfill their contract. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds great. All right. So now, how about contact information for you? If people, how long are you here?
So I'm only here till Sunday, but I come out quarterly to help with the drilling and kind of network with folks. So I'm free today. We got a few appointments lined up, right? A few referrals, looking to grow the Navy Reserve out here. But yeah, to contact me, I'm on Instagram, shameless plug.
Yes.
At underway.with J. I'm on there. Some information
Underway.with J.
Yeah.
No way. That's awesome.
Underway with J. So that's me on Instagram. You feel free to reach out. I also have some forms in there that you can fill out and get potentially qualified. And my contact information is there as well. And I'll be around for the next couple of days, this afternoon and tomorrow.
Let's see if we can't just find it real quick so we can post it on there, the Instagram handle, and because that'll be the fast way to get people to find you. And then also, we can get you, we could post all your stuff. So if you have your own little flyers or something like that, just send them our way. So underway dot with J.
Yes.
Underway dot with J. Yep, that's the only one right there. Yeah. And you're live right now.
Yes,
course,
we are live.
Here, we're going to put this in the old comments real quick. So that everybody, if you want to check him out, even if you're not going to join, you can give him a follow. Get his numbers up there, get his exposure going. And look at this. Oh, you got the whole family. Did you already recruit this little guy? Is that what's going on?
He's on a path, right? We have a academic, athletic, and a military path we're working on for him.
That's excellent. And is that your promotion ceremony?
Yes. That actually just took place a couple months back when I picked up E6. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Look at that little guy. That's over there in Guam?
Yes, that's at our recruiting station there at the GCIC. Yeah.
That is excellent. And so if people are in Guam and they want to go find you, where is the recruiting center?
So the recruiting center is right there in Hagåtña, GCIC building. It's been the Armed Forces Center for, I think, about 20 years. and right next to PenFed. We're right there. I like to say we're there with all the armed forces, but we have the nicer, bigger office.
Nice.
And we're directly parallel to PenFed.
I know where PenFed is because I bank with them from all the way over here. You want to get on camera? I'd love to hear a little bit about how you got in here. Maybe you guys can trade spots with the phone. Let's start real quick and tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Marvin Fernandez. I am an IS-3 in the Navy.
Where are you from?
I'm from Cagman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is that where you went to school too?
Oh no, I went to Southern.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you selling this guy? What is next? All right. So let's start off real quick. What did you do in the Marine Corps, and how long were you in?
So I was in for 4 years. What I did was I was a 0621. I was a radio operator. I assisted, what's it called, artilleryman, calling for fire type of deal. Yeah,
oh, nice.
Did the fun stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the EIB tactics, call for fire.
Call for
and all
fire.
that stuff, right? Yeah. All right. So, and when did you get out?
I got out 2022, I believe. Yeah.
Wow. And so now you just got back in.
Yeah, I just got back
Navy,
in.
right? So, what was it for you? What brought you back into the reserve?
Like he said, I missed the camaraderie type of deal, and he also mentioned like, oh, the 20K. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't get that on my first enlistment.
Do you get any other bump? Like I know, like back in my day, it was just GI Bill, right? You guys get post 9/11 all that. Do you get a second bump at that when you join in the reserves as a prior service? Is there any extra?
Yes, you actually do. So they just started the CELRES tuition assistance program. So you could actually hold on to your GI Bill, you know, for your family or your dependents, right? And use the tuition assistance through the reserve.
Outstanding.
And that's actually where I had found him, right? A friend of mine, Furman, over at NMC, he was like, "Hey, come on over, do a table setup," and I think they had like a pizza night or game night.
Yeah.
And then I saw him walking by, and he was kind of like looking. He's like, "Petty officer, second class." I'm like, "Hey, you know something about the military? Like, come on over." And then we had that conversation there and then, and the very next day we were meeting and getting him qualified.
That's outstanding. All right, so now you're back in. When do you start going to school and everything?
That's a great question. I do not know. I'll find out. I'll let you know.
So you're signed up. You already raised your hand and
Yes, I
everything.
did.
So right now it's kind of like a delayed entry until he gets to school and all that.
Essentially, yes. So within this contract, each of them have a year to schedule the school, right?
Okay.
Based on, you know, the Navy understands you're a reservist, so your civilian life or your civilian employer takes a lot of scheduling, right? So as long as they get to sign up for the school, get a seat at the school within the first year of their contract.
Man,
Yeah.
so interesting. And you guys are doing it as adults now. When you guys were in, you started off kind of as kids, right?
Yes, we did.
And then you just follow the directions. You go where you got to go, and everything's easy. As a reservist, how much more of an active participant are you? I mean, like for like going out to find those things. You don't have you're not living in the barracks with your squad leaders and team leaders all the time. So how individual driven is it?
That is a drastic change, right? And I had mentioned to both of these guys when they were coming in, I was like, hey, you had a team for admin, you had a team for medical, you had a team making sure you're tracking on your career ladder. Now your hands are on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You need to advocate for yourself and take initiative, right? So you're in charge of your career, essentially, right? Because being a reservist, you have your job, your family, and what our skipper likes to say is, hey, foundational, right? If your family's taken care of, you're going to excel at your civilian job. Your civilian job's taken care of, then we get the best parts of you in the reserve, right? So with that, as long as they're tracking and they're contacting their mentors, and their career is in their hands.
So I've been lucky enough over the years to deal with a component that didn't affect me when I was active, but I get to see them in action. The ESGR, the Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. Can you talk about like the kind of importance that they have for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. So I was actually here in the last conference over at the Crown Plaza. I was fortunate enough to present along my skipper, Commander Reed, about the Navy Reserve, and I actually nominated, I think they're going to stop accepting my applications because I'm nominating Department of Education, Jose Rios Middle School, year after year, right? And they've been a recipient of the award. And I think that's a very important piece, acknowledging and honoring essentially your civilian employer, right? For all the intangibles. Yes, if you're getting military pay or sick pay, or those benefits are great, of course. But I think it's the intangibles, right? It's like checking in on you, right? Making sure that you're good to go, and wondering, hey, are you going to come back this school year? And I like to do the same thing. So any people coming out to Guam and they're like, hey, we need community relations activities or community service, I shoot them right to the school that I used to work at, and we get some things taken care of over there. So yes, ESGR is so essential. I encourage everyone to do it. Actually, coming back from that conference, I made it a requirement, like, hey, I need you guys to go on, and if not your company, your business, at least one individual, a supervisor, right? Somebody who checks in on you, who's there for you, and have been a proponent for your career.
That's a tough thing. I would look at it as a possible pothole that could be in the way for folks, because you know you got drill coming up this weekend, but you didn't tell your boss until like Friday morning. It's like, oh, sorry, I'm going to WhatsApp you. Sorry, I can't make it this weekend, boss. I got drill weekend. And all of a sudden, you know, your employer's like, you know, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, you know, what am I going to do with all this?
Yeah.
You know, what kind of advance notice are you supposed to give your?
So we actually have the drill schedule printed out every year.
Wow, that's
every
great.
year. So you have the full year schedule of when you're supposed to be there. But here's the thing, right? As a Navy reservist, you are an individual driller. You are an individual component in which you can mobilize, and all that means is that you're able to reschedule your drills. So you can do them ahead of time, or you can do them thereafter the drill weekend. So less friction at the workplace, essentially, right?
Love it.
And if you have circumstances as far as like education-wise or work-related, you can actually knock out all of your drills and your annual training for the year altogether.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so one more about this thing. They're not here. They got to get to Guam. So is that something that you guys do under DTS, or do they have to buy their own ticket and get reimbursed? How does it work for the drills?
So actually for the drills, so any members that are out here, they can drill alongside me. And I've been working with, Mr. Franklin Mabata at Homeland Security, right? Because he works closely with one of the reserve components in Guam. Called DCE West. They're a disaster emergency response preparedness unit, right? So in the event of typhoon, tropical storms, and whatnot, all the way back to YouTube, that unit on Guam is in charge of coordinating federal partners, local partners, and military assets. So these guys can actually have the opportunity to support in drill weekend, but also on a emergency activation capacity right here at home.
That's outstanding. Yeah. That's great. Just looking at some of the comments, you guys are late because my youngest son just joined the Air Force.
All good. Check me when he gets out.
There you go. Yeah, prior service. And nice. Sorry, I saw some comments came in there. Fabian, they were saying, this is Bruce saying, 9th MSC likes to do 29 days and do another funding source to avoid BAH. I'm like, nice. All right, so they've got a bunch of stuff. By the way, you guys had a bunch of comments that came in that we missed just because we were deep into it, and it was pretty good. Any last shots, any last shout outs or last little pitch to anybody who's out there?
First, just my better half at home, Jesse, thank you for always supporting me. Like I mentioned in the video on the gram, right? It's the recruiting life, the service life, you know, it takes a stable foundation at home, right? So she ensures that waking up every day ready to go, uniforms pressed, meals ready. And then, of course, my son, right? My son, Fabian, he's my inspiration to seize the day, really, and the opportunities that I'm able to provide him and, you know, our future family. So shout out to them. Shout out to mom and dad, because mom and dad, man, intelligent, resilient in their own right, and making sure, you know, I stayed on a path, and they provided everything for me in a way where I can make my own choices and succeed and attain those goals. So shout out to them. And just being here, honestly, shout out to the people here, man. I love it. Every time I come out, it's a good time. I'm not too familiar with just walking into even the Congress spaces and the government spaces, and everyone's so happy to see you. Like, hey, what are you doing out here? You know, it's the people here are amazing. So shout out to you, Saipan, CNMI, hospitality off the chain every time I'm here. And I look forward to coming back and growing the force and providing more opportunities for whether it be you listening or your family members. I do have one plug. My brothers in the stations are coming out. The Navy recruiting station is coming out September 15th through the 20th. They'll be doing school presentations.
Oh, great.
So they'll be here for that week, doing school presentations and making sure like everyone has the option and the choice, right? Whatever branch fits. Essentially, we all offer the same benefits, right? But it's more about the job and then the lifestyle, right?
Yeah, well, if you could, get him my contact info. Love to have him in, talk about those kind of opportunities. Yeah, you guys, when you enlisted, you were probably watching some videos and all that stuff at the recruiting stations and all that. I did too. It was on a laser disc that they put into the machine. This is the thing before DVDs. It was like a record, but it was silver, and we would see the guys like. My thing that I was looking at was infantry. You know, you see the guys that got the camo on their face. They're going around, going through the trees. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I want to do all this stuff. Yeah. You know what they didn't show? They didn't show what happens when it rains. I just thought you went in. You do not go in. I don't know if you guys use that same thing. It was, if it ain't raining, you ain't training. That's it. That's exactly it. You ain't training. So that's what I got. Let's see what we got. All right, guys. Well, that's what we got. Speaking of Fabian, different Fabian, he said, you better drop them. Drop with them. They owe you. We do this on the show. We do drop and do some push. You guys want to do some push-ups? I don't know if you guys can do that in the Navy. Are you guys able to do them?
Funny story. These guys, they just got through their PT test this morning, so they're pretty spent.
Really?
Yeah. So
all right. All right. So that's a good excuse. That's a good excuse. 23. How old are you?
24.
Oh yeah, you guys are monomco already. You can't do it. But so let's talk about that real quick. What is the PT test?
So there's push-ups, standard push-ups, planks, and then for the cardio section, you have options.
Ooh.
Whether you want to run 1.5 miles, whether you want to bike for calories. You have the Concept 2 rower. Rowing 2,000 meters, you can swim, and then also more on the bike. You can do it on a treadmill or out on the track. Yeah, so we have options.
So what's the swim if you do the swim?
You know, I couldn't tell you. I haven't met anybody that's taken on the swim.
And we're gonna find out right now. So for me, it was pretty basic. It was push-ups, sit-ups, 2 mile run. Yeah, that's what we had. Because I was in the youngest tier, so I think it was to max out. It was 82 push-ups, 92 sit-ups. And I think the max to run was like 11:54 or something like that for the 2 mile run. Mm-hmm. That's how you get a 300. But you guys, totally different score. So is it just Navy fitness test? What do you guys call it?
Yeah, PRT or PFA.
All right, yeah. The Navy PRT. There we go. Physical readiness test. Mm-hmm. I want to see what you guys got. So what options did you guys choose? Push-ups, right? Mm-hmm. And what else did you do? Plank?
Yeah. So the cardio was the only one they can choose different options. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see if we can find it. What is these other components for the swim? Maybe we're not going to find it as fast as I wanted to. But I love the idea. Yep. Oh, there's the plank. Oh, wait, that's the push-up.
Yeah.
All right. So this does not look like an accurate push-up to me because the stomach is not hitting the ground. That's something that happens when you get older. All right, I see the plank. The plank looks legit.
Yep.
All right, so there's the rowing machine.
Rowing machine, yeah.
Show me something about swimming. All right, here we go. It's a 500-yard or 400-meter swim. The swim may be conducted if the facilities are reasonably available. Swim event consists of swimming 500 yards or 450 meters in the fastest time possible. Any swim stroke and turn may be used and will only be conducted in a standard 25 or 50-meter swimming pool. Oh, you can't do open water. For safety purposes, no more than 3 swimmers are authorized at a time. It doesn't matter. It's not timed.
Oh, it's your best time, yeah.
Come on! That's great! You can, oh my God, that's awesome. I would take swimming all the time. In my current physical condition, I would choose swimming every single time. That's outstanding. That is just great. All right, well, now we know. Well, you guys, thanks. You've already served your country once, and you still are, and now you're doing it again. That's in the Army way, we would say it's pretty hoo. For you guys, it's you guys are like all ooh-rah and stuff, but now you got to say ooh-yah.
Hoo-yah.
Have you heard about that? So that's
Hoo-yah.
hoo-yah. So it's like the Army is hoo, the Marine Corps is ooh-rah, the Navy is hoo-yah, and you know what the Air Force is? Hey. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up on that one. I want to say thanks to you guys for tuning. We are going to come back and talk some headline stuff, but I want to say thanks to our guests for coming in, and thanks to you guys for joining up again.
Thank you for having us.
It was great to be around some fine young men defending our country again. Great job, guys. Thanks so much. Yeah, there you go. All right, take care. Hey, we're going to take a real quick break, guys. We'll see you right after this. Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Ben Thomas. In Pennsylvania, police responding to a report of an active shooter on the campus of Villanova University. An alert warns people to stay away from the law school. In Washington, President Trump's out in the D.C. streets this evening as part of his crackdown on crime and immigration enforcement.
I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C. from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years. And they said, you know what you've done it's unprecedented because what they said it was just unsafe.
The president declared victory today after an appeals court threw out the massive civil fraud penalty against him. Saka Magani has details.
New York State and Attorney General Letitia James had accused the president of exaggerating his wealth to deceive lenders and insurers. The then ex-president denied it last week, arguing the case was politically motivated.
They don't have any facts. They don't have any evidence against us.
But a judge's ruling that Trump was on the hook for more than $500 million. Today, an appeals panel ruled that's excessive and threw it out. The ruling comes 7 months after Trump returned to office. His Justice Department is investigating whether James violated his civil rights. Sagar Magani, Washington.
In the Middle East, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's ready to give final approval for the takeover of Gaza City. The military operation could start within days. He also says he will restart negotiations with Hamas to return all remaining hostages and end the war on Israel's terms. Hospitals in Gaza report at least 36 Palestinians killed in Israeli strikes today. And Russia launched a major aerial attack on western Ukraine. The Ukrainian Air Force says 574 drones and 40 ballistic and cruise missiles. This is AP. Sales of existing homes rose in July, says the National Association of Realtors. Home buyers encouraged in part by a modest pullback in mortgage rates. Freddie Mac puts the average 30-year at 6.58%. Jobless claims rose last week, but remained at a healthy level. And since the sell has the AP market report.
Stock fell to their 5th straight loss in a muted day of trading on Wall Street. The S&P 500 slipped 0.4%. The index hasn't risen since hitting its latest all-time high last Thursday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 102 points. That's about 0.3%. The Nasdaq Composite fell 0.3%. Walmart lost 4.5%. The big retailer reported weaker profits for the spring than the market was expecting. Nvidia and other big tech stocks held a bit steadier following 2 days of sharp swings. Treasury yields rose in the bond market. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note climbed to 4.33%. Seth Sutel, New York.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Waking up with a smile, sun on my face, coffee brewing the night.
right, Marianas. That's what I get for trying to multitask. I had the music on when something else was going on. Oh, I know what it is. But hey, at least we're back in action, and I want to say thanks to you guys for still being here. Want to send those guys off the right way. It was great to have them in studio with us, and I'm thankful that they were able to get in. There's some cool stuff. I mean, those guys, thinking about it, getting back in the service after you got out of the service, it was a big commitment for me to join, because you're deciding, like when you sign on that dotted line, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm in. I just committed the next so many years of my life for this. And then that's it. And then when I got out, I'm like, whoo, I'm out. And it hit me one day. I'm like, I could call in sick to work now if I want to. You can't do that when you're in. You can go to sick call, I guess, but you can't be like, I'm not feeling it today. So boop, 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 put down the voice. I can't make it today. No, you can't do that when you're in. At least you couldn't do it in my job when in the Army. And so those guys are signing back up to serve their country. I love it. I can't believe it. And what a couple of good dudes they are too, right? By the way, they left us with some really cool stuff. We're just on the other side over here. We got a cool calendar for the next year, some pens, lanyards, some other cool stuff, little packets. I'd reach out to those guys if you're ever thinking about it. Hanging out with these guys, I'm too old to do it. But if I wasn't, I would be interested in finding out more. I would be the guy that would be like, well, all right, I'll listen to this a little bit. And you heard what they said. They got a $20,000 bonus, and they're only doing reservists. Like, holy crap. Do it while you can, fellas. Sign up. And it's in the Navy. How hard can it be? No. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, Navy guys. But for what they were talking about with the PT test, that you can actually do swimming. And it's not timed as your cardio test. Yes, I'll do that all day. I mean, what's that? 450 meters swimming, that's 9 minutes swimming slow. That's not bad at all. I mean, deal. I'll do that. All right, so by the way, we did, Fabian, I did challenge them. I did talk to them about doing the push-ups, but they did their PT test this morning, so they are a little smoked. So I'm cool with that. I wasn't going to make them do it. Maybe we could have had them do 10. Maybe that would have been it instead of 20. But I would do it. I would have dropped with them for sure. And I didn't see it till, well, if they didn't have their PT test, I would have leaned in on it for sure. I don't want to give them a hard time and make them feel bad if they are smoked. Although, would it make me look a little bit cooler? Yep, definitely. All right. We have had so much stuff, we couldn't even get to our local headlines, which were the big things that we knew were happening. I'm just going to refresh, see if there's anything else that popped in on the old emailogram, and no. But we're going to get into something here first. Let me share this message that we ended up getting from the governor's family. Here, let's put this on here. We received this yesterday, and we're going to post it up. We got it last night. I just had a crazy busy day. I couldn't get to it. But it was a message of appreciation from Governor Palacios' family. What a beautiful photo this is, by the way. I absolutely love it. And I remember seeing this as part of their family photo stuff that they would put out. And man, look at this. We'll read it out to you. It says, it's a message of appreciation from Governor Palacios' family. It says, the family of the late Governor Arnold Palacios, including First Lady Wella Palacios, their children, grandchildren, and extended family, wish to extend their heartfelt gratitude to the people of the Commonwealth and beyond for the overwhelming love, support, and prayers they received during this time of loss. The family reflects with deep appreciation on the outpouring of compassion and respect shown to the governor's memory, from the residents who stood in quiet tribute along the roadways, to the friends, colleagues, and community members who joined in a prayer and remembrance, and to those who traveled from off island to be present. Each gesture of kindness has brought great comfort to the family in their time of grief. There are far too many individuals, organizations, and friends to acknowledge by name, and the family would not want to leave anyone out. Please know that every message, every prayer, and every act of kindness has been deeply appreciated. Governor Palacios' legacy will not only be remembered through his decades of service and accomplishments, but more so through the warmth, humility, and sincerity with which he touched the lives of countless people throughout the Marianas. The family is profoundly grateful for the community's prayers and acts of kindness, which continue to honor his memory and sustain them in this difficult time. That's from the governor's family. Again, we received that last night. Just a nice, beautiful message from them, and they genuinely appreciate all of you who are out there honoring the governor's memory and supporting their family in the immediate aftermath, and then during the continued time of mourning our late Gov. So that's great. So thank you very much from the family, and there we go. Now, on to other stuff. Maybe what's the real quick transition? We just talk real quick again. Once again, today is the launch of the Rhoda Coconut and Sweet Potato Festival that kicks off at 5 o'clock today over at the Chamorro Village. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you don't want to miss it. It's going to also be tomorrow. So you got today and tomorrow, and then you get to maybe recover a little bit on Sunday. And Sunday is supposed to be beautiful weather out here in the Marianas. So got to love that. All right, so what happened yesterday? Nothing major. Just the Office of the Attorney General dropping a little bit of a bomb. I know this would have been like what we would lead with on a regular show, but there was so much going on, we couldn't even lead with this on the show because of everything else we had going on over here. And this is it. I mean, here, I can expand that off to the side a little bit. There we go. Whoops. So this is it. The governor and lieutenant governor both the governor's office sent out a message about it. But this is what went down yesterday when the Office of the Attorney General lobbed these three charges. And we'll go through them and to try and figure out what it is. And the way we got it is that it ended up being like a rental vehicle that got transferred from one island to the other, and the rental company didn't know about it. I mean, like that's what we need to hear about a little bit more. In this one it says, the lieutenant governor back then, he was only the director or the special assistant for Homeland Security for a short amount of time. I mean, right? I mean, it was a pretty short amount of time when he was there. But what they're alleging is that he transported a vehicle, a private vehicle, using public funds to get that there. Now, what is in there exactly? So that's number one. They're saying that that's misconduct. The second one involves him being in the same position, saying that he authorized ordering the transportation of this 2019 Toyota Tacoma. So that's the rental vehicle over there from Pacific Corporation, and without the rental company knowing about it. Now, could we guess what that could be about? Yeah, is a guess the same thing? I don't know. My best guess is for a rental car is that, hey, we need a vehicle for this stuff. We're going to rent this vehicle in Saipan because we got it. So we're just going to pop it on a boat and throw it over there. Should they have reached out to let them know that that's something that they needed to do? Probably. Is that a felony offense? Well, I mean, saying it's kind of rough to be a felony, but I don't know what they're going after. We can look up that law and find out what that is. But, you know, for something like that, again, I don't know. It's not necessarily fair for me to call that out as like I disagree with it. But, you know, maybe under the law, that's what they're doing. And let's go to count three, which is theft. They're saying that the two folks here unlawfully took or used property of another with the intent to permanently deprive. So that's like saying they're really meant to steal that Tacoma, the way I read it there. But you know, again, we don't have the specifics. That's what comes out in court, I guess, or maybe that the next round of information. This is just the charging documents. Were there some shenanigans? Maybe, I don't know. But do I think that they are like, yep, we're going to rent this vehicle and then we're going to steal it? I don't know. That sounds a little crazy to me. It doesn't sound like plausible that that's what it is. But again, maybe when we hear more information about it, it'll make more sense. if I were to just take a guess, that first blush sounded like, hey, a lot of stuff's going down over here. We're going to rent this vehicle. We actually need it in Tinian. All right, let's pop it on a boat and get it over. Or we need it in Saipan. We need it in Rhoda. Let's pop it on a boat and get it over there. And I feel like that's probably what happened. But I don't know. So again, you're just leaning in on that. It says, what's this other one? This is the same thing. Oh, this one is saying that they didn't even have funds to rent the vehicle in the first place or to move the vehicle in the first place. So they're calling that misconduct. And that was a Toyota Tacoma and a 2022 RAV4 and a 2017 4Runner. These, a whole bunch of vehicles. Look at this. It says all these vehicles that they rented from this company in Saipan, they didn't have any money for it, and they didn't pay for them. You know what? Oh, this is going to be interesting, by the way. We're going to talk about this in a second. So first of all, Lieutenant Governor back then, it was a very short window when he had that job. And I know they signed off on a lot of stuff, so I wonder if they're not just going after a bigger fish and all this other stuff. But back then, in the COVID times, with all this ARPA stuff, they routed everything through Homeland Security and emergency management. I'm not talking about these guys. I'm just saying in general, everything that was supposed to get done for COVID expenses and all that, they routed it through Homeland Security emergency management. And there was not a whole lot of oversight going on. There was just a whole lot of, here's an invoice, sign it, here's an invoice, sign it, here's an invoice, sign it. That happened. We know this. This is not a maybe. That's not a story or an anecdote. We saw that stuff happen. You know, we know that's exactly what was happening for all kinds of stuff. Everything, even if it didn't seem like it was a Homeland Security thing, everything went through Homeland Security. Everything. We saw it. I saw it happen. That's like for all these different programs that were happening, contracts that were being signed, had nothing to do with Homeland directly, were all routed for funding through Homeland Security. That's not a mystery. But now these guys are saying that they, all these vehicles that were rented through Homeland Security to the tune of $61,290 just didn't get paid. So you can figure that rental car company wants to get that money for sure. And is this another one? This one's through DFEMS. This is a rental car also. Yeah, another rental car that went through DFEMS, and DFEMS didn't have the money for it, they're saying, or the person who entered into contract didn't have that, so there's a fine for that. This is another one for a rental. Yeah, again, the same thing. And there's all kinds of vehicles that were rented from this specific corporation doing business as Saipan Car Rental Center that didn't get any payments for all of this. And an outstanding debt of $20,415. So, I mean, that's what all of this is about. And this is the new Assistant Attorney General who's working with the Commonwealth at the OAG office, who's going in to do the corruption stuff. So what is at the heart of this? I mean, we know all these guys by name, right? Nobody looks at these guys and says, hey, they're bad guys. So what is the real story on this? Were they duped by someone else? Were they doing stuff they shouldn't have been doing, but under the, thinking that they were just following orders and doing what they were supposed to be doing? I don't know. We don't have the specifics, but we know these guys. These are known folks who just do stuff in our community that we just know to be, regular guys doing their job for the company. Someone tells them what to do, and this is probably what part of these charges are going to come out about, where they're going to say, well, I guess if you don't know what it is, you got to you got to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, no matter what you're signing off on. So I'm really looking forward to hearing more about this before you start pinning people up against the wall. But let's see, one second. Yeah, there's got to be something better. I don't think, oh, there we go. I gotcha. There we go. All kinds of stuff. Bam. There we go. No way. All right, so there we go. This is all about this stuff, guys. Sorry. We got to save some of these. I'm looking forward to finding out more about what's going on with all of this. And because that's the only way to go, to find out more about it. I can't say, like these guys, I remember how everything ended up going through Homeland. And it seems like the guys at Homeland who are being asked to sign off on everything, like there's one name that I don't see in all of this who works at Homeland Security. And I think because he's like, I'm not signing for this. I think his name came up a lot, like, hey, have so-and-so sign this, and he didn't sign it. So I wonder if they're starting at the bottom to work their way up, to say there's a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on, and they're starting here to try and get the bigger fish. Right? Again, in fact, when, let's find out, just out of curiosity, let's find out what the Google machine says. Dennis Mendiola, HSEM, right? Let's just see what pops up. About, not now, but when he became there. So he got there, it says right there, newly appointed in May of 22, right? This is how we try to find out this stuff. Because it wasn't that much longer after that he ended up moving on. This is under the old Governor Torres, right? So here we go. They said that he did all this other stuff, and he's newly appointed, and he's going to be a partner. That's May of 22. I believe it was later that year that he ran for office and ended up getting his seat as the senator from Rhode turned the Senate president turned lieutenant governor. So he only had that job for a short amount of time, not even a year. So I don't know how much time. And when he ran, did he have to step aside from that job? What is that 90 days thing? So that's it. I mean, I think then Franklin Babalta became Homeland Security. So, I mean, that's it. I wonder how much of that is going to fall on him. Let's go back to that. What was the date for that criminal information? Let's find out. What was the date when all that stuff happened? Scroll up to the top. The date was, they said, around July. So like 2 months into the job is when this stuff was happening. So he's 2 months in when all this stuff was happening. And this other one happened in November that he's on there for too, which is when the election was. So like, I don't know. So maybe that's stuff that happened while he was in. I don't know. This was in April. You know, he didn't start till May. So, like, how is his name on here? That's what I don't get. No, it says on the dates between April 23rd and December 30th. So that must be when he stopped at December 30th. So that they're tagging him on there about the any contracts that went through for these rental vehicles. So that's it. He was only there for 8 months or less, and that's what they're getting on. So I don't know. I think some of it probably was in action before he got there. But again, I just think, I don't know. We gotta see some more of those documents when they come out. Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it's easier to get stuff through the federal court than it is through the local court. So it's not that it's hard to get it. There's no obstacles other than getting down there and going through the files, and some of those files are pretty big. But the cool thing is about online stuff with the federal court is that you can get it all. Like, we can go through all of it, but that's not where this is. Anyhow, the governor released a statement yesterday. He said, hey, this is the statement from the gov yesterday. Said, today, Lieutenant Governor informed me about the complaint filed against them alleging misconduct. He said, our administration recognizes and respects the rule of law. We place full faith and trust in the independent judicial adjudication process. While this matters before the courts, it's inappropriate or premature to comment on the complaint. Due process must be afforded. Rest assured that the priorities and work of this administration will not be interrupted in order to provide essential services. Lieutenant Governor Mendiola will be releasing a statement from his office soon. So we're still waiting on that one. But basically the gov's saying, hey, you got to let it take its course. There is a justice system. That whole innocent until proven guilty, that's not just lip service. That's the real deal. That's what the deal is. All right, so that is that. There's one more thing, though, to talk about, and we'll get to that now, too. Hold on, let's see. Can I make this one a little bit bigger, or do I got to move this over? Will it work? Just a message that came in also. Here's another one. You guys, so right now, they're in the public comment period for this BEAD program. Hold on one second. We'll talk this one through real quick. The public comment runs until tomorrow. There's a draft final proposal for the BEAD program. The broadband, hold on, let me make sure I get you the full BEAD program stuff. Let me come all over here. And this is the soup of the day for that. BEAD program. Broadband Equity Access and Deployment Program. So we've had them come on the show. This is part of the broadband office that we've got here. And there's a nationwide program. It's a $42.5 billion federal grant program. That's part of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That's to expand high-speed internet access across the United States. And that includes us here in the Marianas. Hooray. So what they did, they said, look, here we are in the Marianas. We have internet access, which is nice. It's very nice. But what we really want to have is really high-speed access. So we've had them come in over and over, the folks from the broadband office, and talk to us about trying to bring fiber to everyone's home. And they were saying that, we're in this competitive process to win. And the Marianas won a certain amount of money to bring broadband access to everyone's home. Now, some is better than others, right? So there's different ways of bringing it to the house, and sometimes it's the copper wire, or the coaxial cable, or the fiber. Well, they were saying they specifically were talking about bringing fiber to everyone's door, right to your house. And so they, whether you have, some people have satellite, some people have the wire, some people have the cable, some people have whatever. But the main thing is about bringing it to the house. So now there's different ways of doing it. So they made a request for proposal. So it was a competitive process so that people could compete to be the ones who bring that. So they've already got Google, which is bringing in that massive undersea cable that's going to come to the Marianas. And then it's going to be how you get it from there to your house. And what's your game plan? How are you going to do it? So they had people bid to bring that to your house. So there's, I think 3 different companies. I think Pacific Data Systems, Docomo, and IT&E. So IT&E, I haven't reviewed everyone's plans, so you're not going to hear some expert knowledge on this, but I will talk to you about things on a couple different levels on it. So, there was it turns out that under the draft proposal from the BEAD office, that IT&E won it against the other guys. They have a plan, from what I understand, when I made a bunch of phone calls yesterday to find out, hey, how's this working? Why did these guys win? And what's the difference and all this other stuff. So apparently IT&E won this bid to bring it to the house, right? IT&E and Docomo both have fiber going around the island, and then it's a matter of getting it to your door. Who's going to be that provider to bring it to your door? And what's the method that they're going to do it? And is it going to be are you going to go with the cheapest one that can do that, or are you going to go with the gold-plated spinning rims kind of version of it? And I'm dancing around it a little bit because I'm not the expert on it, but I know just enough to be dangerous. Probably. So basically, the plans provided or proposed by the two different providers is what's or being contested right now. So Docomo released a letter, which is their disagreement with the proposed plan. And we can roll through it here. I got them on the screen. They were saying that they said, hey, we don't like it. We didn't win it. So let's talk about that. They were talking about what their thought on this was that they thought that having the lowest cost on the whole thing was going to be the way to go. And we'll post this up so you guys can, make your own thought about it. But they're saying they went with the least cost approach by what they understood from the president's direction, right? And they were trying to bring lower costs to it and try to bring the same thing. And then in their letter, they talk about the same thing about the lowest cost is supposed to be the big thing. They're saying their cost is about $1.8 million, while the one that won was $31.4 million, right? So there's a big difference in there. But the difference is it's not an apples to apples product that they offer. They were offering something called the HFC, which is the hybrid fiber coaxial cable, right? So that means it's not all fiber and it's not all cable. It's a little mix of both. And that's doing the aerials, like how they do them in Saipan. What does that mean? Like how you string them from post to post and all that stuff, and get it to your house that way. And so they're saying here that according to an analysis by Global Data, who I don't know who that is, but we'll figure it out, that network continues to dominate the residential broadband market in the United States for the next couple of years and has 65% market share. So they're basically saying, hey, this one's pretty good, and it should meet all the requirements of all this other stuff. And it's cheaper, so the broadband office should have gone through and given them the nod for this, just based on cost alone. So that's what they got. Instead of burying fiber all throughout the Marianas, bringing it to your house and all that stuff, they're saying, hey, the way we got it here with that mixture of cable and fiber should have been it for them. So they're saying that they're not a big fan of the choice that was made in the draft from BEAD. And so they're asking for a reconsideration, and they would like that changed. So that was something that was sent out to the BEAD office, I believe. Yeah. But this got around yesterday. It wasn't just to them. It actually went to all kinds of government offices and all that other stuff. And makes its way to us too, right? So good times. So we're going to find out if that means there's going to be a delay to bringing this stuff to the world, or if it's going to be something new. Hold on one second. Oh, thank you. That's great. Someone sent me something else too for this. Now, apparently what the IT&E plan was, which I don't have that either, was that it was going to be all fiber buried all over the place, getting to your house and all that other stuff. So is that more expensive? It sounds like it's going to be more expensive for sure. And but it's fiber. So what's the difference? I don't know. So I went on to the magical world of AI and just started asking it some questions and said, hey, what do you think? What does this mean? I don't get it, but tell me, what does this stuff mean? And so I'm like, all right, so talk to me about this stuff. I don't want to debate which one's a better plan or something like that, because I'm not that guy. I don't work at a phone company. I mean, I know we partner with one of them for sure. No maybe on that. You see their commercials here all the time. Wherever we do broadcasts from, you see it on there all the time. So that, we do a lot of business with IT&E stuff, right? So I'm like, all right, so what's the take on this? I'm not familiar with this. So I'm like, what is the HFC? So I had to say, hey, what's going on? They're like, well, The hybrid fiber coaxial, or HFC, is basically a combination of fiber optic and coaxial cable technology. Really common way of delivering broadband because it uses existing cable TV infrastructure. So it's kind of tried and true method that's a lot cheaper and faster to deploy than burying all new fiber lines everywhere. And the magical AI says, what Docomo is pointing out is that the chosen bidder went with a much more expensive approach, like relying heavily on fiber, and they think that's not really aligned with the new policy. So that's great. So I'm like, all right, well, we're in a typhoon-prone area where I'd imagine a buried fiber might be more reliable than aerial, and says, yeah, in a place where typhoons are a regular concern, having buried fiber could definitely be more resilient to storm damage compared with cables that are above ground. Aerial infrastructure can get knocked out by high winds, debris, buried lines definitely have a bit more protection, so it's a balancing act. HFC approach is cheaper and can be rolled out quickly, but buried fiber might offer more reliability in a storm-prone region. It's a valid argument for both sides, and that's probably part of the debate, cost versus reliance. And then I remembered, hey, after Mawar, the service in Guam was pretty bad, right? And so then I was asking about that. And you guys can look that up. Ask your friends who have that provider if the service was back up and all that other stuff. I would say no, because I had so many drop calls when I was trying to talk with my folks in Guam with that service. And my coworkers, I should say, back then, because that's before I was doing this solo. And, hey, it's the same thing. And there were press releases that came out about it. I don't have them, but I could tell you that I know that their structure wasn't great. Their infrastructure wasn't great afterwards, and they had a long time getting up, and they didn't have buried stuff. And I think that was part of the problem, why they had such a hard time rebuilding their infrastructure afterwards. After the typhoon, I know what network was still running, and which one wasn't running as efficient. So, I know that you guys can figure that stuff out too. That's Guam. Here, it's different, right? I mean, we have our own stuff. You guys pick your own provider of choice. You know how that goes. But either way, which is better for our area? I don't know. I think the question is on here. It's like, which one's going to be cheaper? And based on their understanding of what was laid out in that RFP, they think that it should have been them. It happens all the time. People protest or people have disappointments. Well, anyway, here's the thing. We reached out to the beat office, and the beat office they're just interested in public comments and knowing what you guys have to say about it, or hearing what you think. Because if you think that it's not the way it should be, then they want to hear from you. If you think, hey, go with the one that's more resilient, or what they're saying is more robust, then you could do that too. Said, hey, feel free to submit any public comments, as we'll be doing all the public comments and evaluating them and integrating recommendations as needed into the final draft proposal to create a document and send over to NTIA for final approval. So they're still looking for public comments for everything like that. That's it. So, and I love that this statement says it was a big passion of the last governor that we find a federal funding needed to stand up a robust, hardened, high-speed broadband network that we could build a economy on. There you go. So, and then that was another thing. I asked that same question. I'm like, said, is that hybrid coaxial cable as fast as an all-fiber system? This is the AI stuff. It says, in terms of raw speed and capacity, an all-fiber system definitely has the potential to be faster and more future-proof than a hybrid fiber coaxial network. Fiber optic cables can carry data at incredibly high speeds over long distances without much signal loss, and they can handle very high bandwidth. HFC networks are typically a mix. They use fiber to get data closer to neighborhoods, and then coaxial cables for that last mile to the individual homes. While HFC can deliver very high respectable speeds, often hundreds of megabits per second and sometimes gigabit speeds, it generally doesn't quite match up to the upper limits of an all-fiber system, which can go even faster and scale more easily. So short answer, HFC is fast and can absolutely deliver high speeds, but if you're looking at pure performance and future-proofing, fiber is generally the gold standard for top-tier speed and capacity. That is my not expert, but reaching out to AI to see what that stuff is, which is basically Google in action. So that's what I got on that. While you guys are trying to figure all that stuff out, you can check all that stuff out for yourself too, because I don't have the answers on that one. But you know, that's it. That's what I got. I imagine that there's just going to be more coming for that story, and as it continues to develop, we'll bring that too. When the Lieutenant Governor's statement comes out, we'll bring you that too. Just as everything keeps coming out, we'll bring that stuff to you. So anyway, good times, good times. We're going to check the calendar real quick. I think today is going to be a day of taking a little bit of a relief, and we're going to have to chase on these other stories for you. So I had a missed call on my personal call. I got to call you back, and I will do that. And what's this? Okay, that's a congratulatory email, which is fantastic. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to wrap it for today. It is 9:38. I do have a latest news update, or sorry, a latest Associated Press news update, so we'll bring you that. And then got some messages from our sponsors, who we absolutely love for absolutely loving us too. And but that's going to be pretty much the show for us today. And we'll follow these cases that are happening and go on from there. Oh, what's this message? 1 second. Yeah, I know. It's fancy, right? Hold on 1 second. I got to send that to somebody. Down. Yeah, I'm all fancy. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. There's all this stuff going on these super right-wing channels and all that stuff on like Steve Bannon and these other websites and stuff like that have noticed, or you know, they've been using the video from the NMI News Service when we had Good Morning Marianas interview with Kimberly King Hines, our Congresswoman. I'm like, ooh, look at us. We're gonna have to change it to the NMI World Service instead of the NMI News Service. All right, 1 second. What's this? Yeah, I know. I saw that one too. But that's going to wrap. So let's get you guys the Associated Press updates. This is the latest that just came in. So here you guys go.
The president of Villanova University says the report of a shooter on campus was a cruel hoax. Peter Donahue in a statement saying there was no active shooter, no injuries, and no evidence of firearms on campus. Elsewhere, the NFL stepping up security. Gethin Coolbaugh reports it follows
a shooting last month at a Manhattan building by a gunman authorities say was targeting league headquarters. The league previously recommended enhanced security measures at team and league facilities. They will be reviewed at a special league meeting on August 26th. NFL employees are back in their offices after working remotely in the weeks following the shooting that killed 4 people and injured a league employee. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
President Trump's declaring victory after an appeals court threw out a massive civil fraud penalty against him, but it upheld other punishments, including banning Trump and his 2 eldest sons from corporate leadership. And Hai Panjwani has another legal ruling going the president's way.
The Supreme Court is letting the Trump administration cut hundreds of millions of dollars in research funding to slash DEI efforts. The High Court majority lifted a judge's order blocking $783 million worth of cuts made by the National Institutes of Health to align with Republican President Donald Trump's priorities. The court split 5-4 on the decision. Chief Justice John Roberts was among those who would have kept the cuts blocked, along with the court's 3 liberals. The order marks the latest Supreme Court win for Trump and allows the administration to move ahead with canceling hundreds of grants while the lawsuit continues to unfold. The plaintiffs, including states and public health advocacy groups, argue that the cuts will inflict incalculable losses in public health and human life. Hai Panjwani, Washington.
Federal authorities have set up checkpoints around the nation's capital, asking people about their immigration status and detaining them. And Hurricane Aaron's churning up big waves along the northeast coast as it moves out into the Atlantic. This is AP News. Police in Florida are still investigating the death of wrestling icon Hulk Hogan. Ed Donahue has the latest.
Hogan, real name Terry Bollea, died last month of what the medical examiner said was a heart attack. Police in Clearwater, Florida, say the Hogan case is unique and has required them to interview multiple witnesses and seek medical records from a variety of providers. Hogan was 71. Paramedics and police rushed to his beachfront home following a 911 call. That call and police body camera video of the scene have not been released. A police statement said all of this takes time. Police have previously said there was no evidence of foul play. Hulk Hogan's daughter, Brooke, said on Instagram earlier this month his cremation was postponed because of family questions and mentioned paying for an autopsy, saying his dignity and legacy deserves it. I'm Ed Donahue.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
If you see something, say something, and stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
Wake up, sunshine, it's a brand new day. Brad's got the stories that'll light your way. Take a smile on his face, he's ready to share. Share. Good morning, Marianas. Feel the love in the air. Yeah. Good morning, Marianas. Come join the fun. Together we'll shine like the morning sun.
With the waves crashing in, hear the oceans call. Brad brings the news that connects us all. From the islands to the world, goes the Caribbean. Good morning, Marianas, the best out of the year.
Good morning, Marianas. Let's start the day. With laughter and stories, come what may.
If you see something, say something. And stay anonymous. Call Crime Stoppers at 234-7272 or submit a tip online at nmicrimestoppers.com. No names, no caller ID, no recordings, just your info. And if your tip leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $1,000 in cash. Your tips have helped take hundreds of criminals off the streets in the NMI. It works because of you. Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name. PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.